Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's see here. I wanted to do, I wanted to do something that I guess slight change of pace here with this video, and wanted to talk about something that I'm interested in personally, and for a long time was very influenced, inspired, and received so many teachings from Eckhart Tolle. For me, he was someone who, when I would read the stuff that he was writing, I was just constantly in my head thinking, yeah, yes, someone is speaking for me. Someone is saying all the things that I've always known, but was never able to articulate or express or have the the verification or the confidence that this is I guess the correct way of thinking, or because that's what it is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, everything is beliefs and thoughts. And a lot of what he was saying made so much sense. And but the thing is, at the end of the day, look, I do martial arts, and if you know anything about it, everything, like whether it's martial arts, cooking, you have a teacher who teaches the students, but uh, the best teachers are the ones that always allow opportunities for the students to surpass the teacher. I think a poor teacher is one that will keep his students always beneath. You want the students to surpass, because the whole purpose of it is you're not going to just have one Jesus, one Eckhart Tolle, one Buddha, one Muhammad, one anything. You're going to have endless people that come along, and at the end of the day, the reason why Eckhart's Tolle's, when I would read those words, I felt, yeah, I knew them, and he was speaking for me, is because basically that's the effect of when people speak the truth. And when the people speak the truth, everyone knows the truth. So when someone basically is shining light on the truth, it's very difficult for you to see otherwise. You'll know, people will know, yes, this makes sense. And now there's a lot of people who are waking up more and more. So there's going to be people that are going to be surpassing Mooji, surpassing Eckhart Tolle, finding, uh, I don't want to say holes, but finding areas where there can be more refinement, more uh, understanding, more, just more improvement in the teaching. And, I received an email because I'm on the subscription list, I guess, for Eckhart Tolle. And I don't really get that many from him, but I got one from eckharttolle.com. And, there was something in there that said the ego, the false self, the false identity, or something like that. So I guess this video is going to be for more of the people who are into deeper spiritual understanding, but this video is also for anyone going through a breakup or anyone going through any difficulty. If you can't stop thinking of your ex, if you're trying to let go and move on, if you're trying to just improve yourself as a human being and everything in your life is fine, if you're married, if you're single, divorced, whatever. The the beauty of this teaching is that it applies to everything. And the teaching, so Eckhart will say, this is where I think that his teaching is misleading, and Mooji also has some areas which I think are misleading. But one of Eckhart's main ones for me is he villainizes the ego, and it's, you can't really deny that. Like if you see him talk about things, or even just the email that I received, the ego, the false identity. Look, there's no identity um, that's not false. All identities can be, you can argue them to be false or to be true. You're never one person forever. You're always going to be a different person. So, yes, I understand the stepping back and observing your ego. Your ego, basically, like just to make this simple, yeah, all of this spirituality stuff is very simple. It's not complicated. So you would have like you are a human being, your body, you have your feet, your organs, then you have your mind. And the ego is a personality that you create, you know, and this personality just develops naturally by you as an organism bumping into things and encountering things and experiencing things, and it shapes your personality. Another way to look at it is your body is like a computer, and the ego is like the operating system. It's like your Mac OS 10 or 12 or whatever, or if you have a PC, it's like your Windows. So your ego is a personality that you use to interface with the world. Okay? And if I live in China, the ego is going to learn Chinese culture, Chinese way of communicating, how to survive in China. That's how your ego will develop. Same with if I live in America or anywhere else in the world. Same if I have a certain job, like if my job is I'm a boxer, then my personality, my ego is going to adapt, to fit my job, fit my community, my town, fit my environment. And the ego's there is to keep you alive, to keep you protected. Two main things: to keep you healthy for as long as possible, and to help you to reproduce. That's like how we're going to pass on our species and keep improving and everything. So I understand that, the ego is there's this argument, it's a false identity. Then who are you? Who are you truly? You're truly the awareness of all things. Mooji says it so the most beautifully that I've seen anywhere. So simply, Mooji says, you know, simply, find a state of effortlessness, because by doing that, you're going to be shutting down a lot of worry, fear in your mind, and you're going to be here. You're going to be here and now, and you'll also be able to create that distance, a little bit of distance between the thoughts, the stream of thoughts, the mental commentary, and the presence, the awareness, as Mooji says, the isness, or I don't know who says that, some spiritual people. But look, all these spiritual mumbo jumbo is very simple stuff, yeah. So I think that if you're going to teach that the ego is a false self, then what we are presented with when we go to an Eckhart Tolle speech or talk is a false version of Eckhart, because ego is language, ego is speaking, ego is your posture, ego is what setting you like, ego is how loud you're speaking, ego is the choice of words. Eckhart trying to make out like he's being channeled, like something is using him as a channel. I mean, I think that a good teacher can get in the zone, and I think a good athlete can get in the zone, and a great musician can get in the zone. I don't think that what's happening with Eckhart is, no one else can do that. I think that everyone can do that. And there are many people who are doing that. Um, and Eckhart's speech, a gift is speech, communication, his energy, his attitude, his personality is a beautiful gift. Um, Beyond that, We're all, uh, when you get to your true self, if you want to describe it that way, we're all just presence being manifested, you know, currently for us in this body, in this form, right? But your ego is not your full self. Your ego, see I think that even is borderline self hate, negative self thinking, to think that your ego is something false. And this is a big, how do you explain this? This is like a stone in the shoe of many spiritual students because they wind up chasing their tail because they believe their ego is something that is bad and they should abandon or get rid of or change. And the fact is that that's not the correct way that's not the correct path, of education, of knowledge. The correct path of knowledge and education is just to always treat things with love, and love is acceptance, and to accept your ego, and to accept that it's a part of you, and that we're not perfect, and there's nothing wrong with that. And your ego is a personality. And yeah, sure, if you're having problems with your particular personality socially, not being compatible with your environment, and it's causing you a lot of struggle, then yeah, it's good to Eckhart, teach 80% of his teachings, 90% I think are incredible. And he will teach awareness, presence, so that you can be aware of your personality and aware, like if you're overreacting or if you're doing something that isn't um, just, or honorable or correct or ethical or healthy for yourself or for your surroundings, people around you. So I think that just being aware that it's not a false identity, it's one of your many identities. It's a part of who we are. It's not a false version of who we are, it's a part of who we are. But, I guess I can understand the drama and the strength at which he's, kind of trying to portray the ego because maybe it's more shocking, and most people are identified with the ego, which means most people think they are this person. They think they are the operating system. They've forgotten about the computer and they've forgotten about the fabric of existence in which the computer exists. So since most people are identified with the ego and believe they are this personality, then being more dramatic and shocking and telling them, hey, do you realize that you're living a lie? Like this personality that you think you are is not who you really are. It can help wake people up and question, but I think in the long run in your spiritual journey, it's going to be something unaddressed. And like I said, like a stone in your shoe, because at the end of the day, there's good and evil, there's good and bad. That's just ideas, those are just thoughts. There is basically how all things are. And you can maybe start to um, say good or bad based on survival, based on, this will help my survival, and this will hurt my chances of survival. And now the teachings that Eckhart Tolle, that he guides people, Mooji, all these people are being guided correctly, towards love, towards acceptance. And yeah, sure, maybe the majority might really not understand what the teaching is, or might be confused, or might be frustrated with why it's not affecting their lives, or why it's not helping. Because the teaching falls short because it basically says, hey, here's your ego, here's your personality. That's not who you are. So learn to be just the awareness, the observer, the presence, and that's going to fix everything. And I don't think that's true. I think that you need to condition this ego. This ego has been conditioned through time. So let's say if you're conditioned from birth to be a slave to someone, you know, okay, you wind up from birth, they've enslaved you, and you grow up worshiping your captors, and you're happy, that's your life, you've been conditioned for this. Your whole life has been geared for this, and then, if you want to, say that there's something wrong or right with that, then the true way to heal or liberate someone from that isn't just to teach them to disidentify with their personality and realize that, oh, be the observer of this personality. That's not really who you are. Sure, that's going to help. That's like a good first step. But then there needs to be, I believe, conditioning of that personality, of that ego, of that Windows, of that Mac OS. Basically, the operating software needs to be upgraded, needs to be have a virus check run on it, right? And the way we do that is how pretty much when I'm doing my coaching, which by the way is incredible. I'm really humbled and honored by the people out there who have been emailing me and signing up with me and doing coaching classes. Like if any of you are watching now, like it's I take it very seriously, and it's an honor for me to be involved. And I hope you will excuse how I am with just being bold, very honest, and very much like want to just unload everything that I know onto you guys. But yeah, like it always comes to the same place with everyone, no matter what struggle or challenge they're facing. It comes down to um, mastering using awareness to observe your thoughts, because this is how you're going to recondition your operating system or recondition your ego, your personality. Is first you need to be aware, then secondly, you need to condition it. So, in some of my other videos, I talk about everything as a habit. I'll give you a great example of this. I hope that it connects with some of you out there. For me, it's been a powerful example that, if you spend more time in bed or spend more time sitting, you feel like you are saving energy, that it's more relaxing, more comfortable, as opposed to if you're out walking around, running, being active. But the truth is that both are equally, both can be equally done using the same amount of energy. Okay? It's just you get into the habit of doing one over the other, and where the effort feels like it exists, but it actually doesn't really exist. It's just it's almost like an addiction thing. It's a mental thing that you feel it's too much of a struggle to do the other thing. And it works both ways. That I know some freaks who just constantly are training, constantly are being active, cannot slow down for a minute, otherwise they'll start to freak out. And then there's the majority of us, which we want to just sit down, lie down, be lazy, not move, all day long, not moving. And then it becomes a real struggle for us to go to the gym, work out, do our training. Okay, so everything's a habit. Like really, it really is. It's something that I have learned in my life, and at least for myself, my belief, I've confirmed it to be true. From all my years here, I can see that anything can become a habit. even working hard can become a habit. And um, for us, we can get into the habit, most of us, of negative thinking. And for me, I can trace it perfectly how it happened with me. But for most of us, it just will happen when there's some doubt introduced into your head. And then, we're fascinated by things that hurt us because, I think at an instinctual survivalist level, at our core, we know that it's only through struggle and pain and hardship that we become stronger. So, whenever doubt is introduced into our minds, we play with it, we toy with it, we entertain it, we start to give it more attention just to see where it goes and how deep the rabbit hole can go. And it's okay to do that. I think it's okay to be okay with doing that, but we have to also remember that not to get trapped in the mud of negative thinking because that can become a habit. So it's important for all of us to also rebuild our habit or have enough of a habit of positive thinking too. So I can see that the audio and the video are kind of going out of sync, so I'm going to cut this video short now, and yeah, hope my ramblings make some sense. But at the end of the day, yeah, let's just work on positive thinking and keeping that balance, I think. Seeing the good in any situation and moving forward, even if it's just 1 inch at a time. All right, folks, talk to you guys soon. Adios for now.